Hi everyone. I am going to show you how I solved Albert Einstein's riddle. On my computer I have it pulled up, as you can see. I also have listed, and you should too in front of you, all the hints and the three comments that are in a street. There are 5 houses painted 5 different colors. In each house lives a person of different nationality. Each homeowner drinks a different beverage, smokes a different brand of cigar, and keeps a different pet. So I went ahead and made a graph here, as you can see, and I put house 1 through 5 in order with the color here, the nationality, the drink, the smoke, and the pet. I also wrote out, just for demonstration purposes and so I can eliminate and for deductive reasoning, I listed the colors, the nationality, the drinks, the smokes, and all the pets so that I knew what I was dealing with. Again, I wrote down some of the hints on here, and again, it took me 25-30 minutes at the beginning to do it when I first did it, but since I put the hints in an order that makes it go a little faster, I can hopefully get this done in 5 minutes or less. I also have some colored pencils here to go along, just because I love visual aids, and I personally learn better with visual aids. So I'm going to color in the houses. Okay, let's get started on how to solve Einstein's riddle video. First, make your graph and fill in the things that you already know. So I made, I made my graph here, so make one like that. Okay. The first thing we know is the man who lives in the center house drinks milk. Okay, so the center house is the third house, and we go down to the drink and we write in milk. Okay, the next thing we know is the Norwegian lives in the first house. Here's the first house, and so we're going to put Norwegian here. Okay, the next thing that I think is important is that the Norwegian lives next to the blue house. So if the Norwegian lives in the first house, there's no house on the left of him. So if he lives next to the blue house, then the second house is blue. So I'm just going to color this in blue. Okay, now the second thing that we know is actually a dual thing. It's that the greenhouse drinks coffee, and that the greenhouse is next to and on the left of the white house. Well, we know that this isn't the greenhouse because this isn't white. So this could be green and white, or this could be green and white. But because the third house drinks milk, and I've used deductive reasoning and I know that this is the greenhouse because they drink coffee, which will be listed here. And I know they're there because to the right of them is a white house. So I'm going to fill in this a greenhouse. Never sharpen your pencils too sharp. And then we know that the greenhouse drinks coffee, as it's listed under your hints. Now, we also know that the Brit lives in a red house, so I'm going to get my red pencil here. This isn't the red house because a Norwegian lives there. This isn't the red house because it's blue. This could be the red house. In fact, it is the red house because this one's green and this one's white. And I'm just going to list that this is white right here so I can remember. So we know that this is the red house, and we know that the Brit lives there. So we fill it in red, okay? And we write that the Brit lives there. So if this is red, and this is green, this is white, and this is blue, this has to be yellow. So you fill in the first house yellow. So this is what we have so far. And again, just out of deductive reasoning, that's how I knew this was yellow, because that was the last house, not colored. Okay. The owner of the yellow house smokes Dunhill, and that's what it says on one of the hints. So I go under the yellow house, and I go under smoke, and I put Dunhill. Okay? Now, the man who keeps horses lives next to the man who smokes Dunhill. So, here's the man who smokes Dunhill. The man who keeps horses lives next to him. So, the man in the blue house has to be the man that keeps horses. So, I'm going to write horses under pets here. Okay, now we know that the Brit lives in a red house, okay? Now the rest of, now this is pretty much all the easy stuff. Now it's going to get a little difficult. Because the reason why it gets difficult is the next hint that we have that is most relative to finding out the answer or going on would be that the person who drinks beer also smokes Blue Master. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, so in other words, Blue Master and beer. This isn't Blue Master, this is Dunhill. So it's either going to be here or here because they drink milk and coffee, not beer. So the hint that says that the man who drinks beer also smokes Blue Master, it's either going to be here or here. And because I'm kind of stumped, that's where you got to kind of lightly fill in, and I'm going to do it very lightly, fill in some answers and see if that's the right answer. If not, we're going to have to go back, erase that, and then put it over here. But for now, I'm going to put it here. So, beer and Blue Master, I'm going to lightly, very lightly, write it, and I'm also going to circle it to show that that's kind of like I don't know, okay? So, we're going to continue. It says that the Dane drinks tea. Well, we know this isn't the Dane, this is the Norwegian. This person drinks beer. This isn't the Dane, this is the Brit. This person drinks coffee, so I'm going to put the Dane and tea here. Again, this is just not absolute because this isn't absolute yet. I don't know if the beer and Blue Master go here or here. So I'm just going to circle them and draw them really lightly so I can erase them later if it doesn't work out. We know that the Swede rears dogs, okay? Okay, if this is the Dane, this is the Brit, this is the Norwegian, then either this or this is the Swede. But since they rear horses here, it has to be this house. So I think. Again, we're going on what we see if this works out on that second part. So I'm going to say Swede and circle that, and dog and circle that, because again, I don't know. We're just going along and seeing if it works out. We know that the German smokes Prince. So if that's the Norwegian, that's the Brit, the Swede and the Dane, this has to be the German. But look, if the German smokes Prince, this does not match. If I put German here, he smokes Blue Master. So I'm going to have to go through and, like I told you, erase what I suspected was the answer. But since that one didn't work out, you have to go back. Oh, there goes my eraser. Okay? You have to go back, and initially we went ahead and put that the beer and Blue Master went here. Well, it's obvious that the beer and the Blue Master have to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and write it in dark because I know that's the answer. So the beer is here. The Blue Master is here. Okay? And then we're going to kind of back up and look at my notes again, which are the hints. Okay? The Dane drinks tea. Well, this isn't the Dane, this is the Norwegian. Here's the drink. These houses drink milk, coffee, and beer, so this has to be the Dane who drinks tea. Okay? Then we know that the Swede rears or takes care of dogs. Okay. Why did I circle that one? Okay, the Swede has dogs. Okay, I don't know that one yet. We know that the German smokes prints. So we're going to go to the next hint because I don't know that one. The German smokes prints. So these aren't German. So either this one or this one is German. Well, the White House smokes Blue Masters. So this has to be the German who smokes prints. So just fill in your... Okay. Okay, now, the next step is, it's going to get a little easy now. We've got, let's look back at our list and see what the nationalities are. German, Dane, Norwegian, Swedish, or Sweden, and British. Well, we have everything here except for the Sweden. So that, for a process of elimination, that makes this one Sweden. Okay, again, we've got one left on this row, so we can, through process of elimination, we've got beer, tea, coffee, water, milk. Tea, milk, coffee, beer, this must be water. So you fill in water. Okay, now I'm going to look back at my hints again. We know that the man who smokes blends lives next to the man who drinks water. Well, if he drinks water and there's nobody living over here, then he must smoke blends because it says the man who smokes blends lives next to the man who drinks water. So he has to smoke blends. Okay. And then, again, because there's one left, let's go ahead and see what the last one is on under smoke. Dunhill blends. Dunhill blends. Blue Master prints. Okay, the last one is Pall Mall. So I'm going to, because of process of elimination and it's the last one, Pall Mall has to go here. Okay, I'm going to look back at my hints again. Okay, the person who smokes Pall Mall rears birds is one of the hints. So since we now know that the Red House smokes Pall Mall, we know that they rear birds. So I'm going to write birds here. We also know that the man who smokes blends lives next to the man with cats. Well, here's the man who smokes blends. And since they have birds, they must have cats. The Swede keeps dogs as pets. We know that as a hint. Here's the Swede. So here's where I'm going to put dogs. Okay, and again, because of process of elimination, the last one is obviously fish. So that's how we know our answer, that the German keeps fish. And that's how you solve Einstein's riddle.